So my name is Victor, and for this project I worked on the front end using React.js. So here we have three tabs with different professors for each tab. Each tab we pulled 20 professors from this JSON file that we generated through web scraping. And so for each tab they have their own 20 professors, and when you want to learn more about each professor, you have the number of papers that they've written, the common themes of the papers that they wrote, the research papers, and then the top three most recent and most cited papers that they've wrote. And so it would be processed in this React tab where we have a separate component to display each of the professors here. And the tabs, it's all nested within this tab section.
This is our Semantic Scholar code, which will get papers related to a prompt that we give. For example, diversity, equity, inclusion, or women in computing. And it will get a list of papers that are related to this prompt. From these papers, we will get the authors, and then start creating our author profiles. So for example, for every author, we'll have their paper count, their citation count, their H index, which is a metric that kind of measures an author's impact through their publications. So for example, an H index of 17 will mean that that author has published at least 17 papers that each have at least 17 citations. And we'll also record a list of these authors' papers. And from these papers, we will display the top three most recent papers to show what an author has recently been working on, and the top three most cited papers to show what an author is most known for through their publications. Because this is mostly a proof of concept for the website, we are getting just the first 20 authors that we have found through this list that are related to the topic. And then we sort these authors by their H index. And we produce these JSON files that have all the author details in order to display them on our website. So for example, for gender inequality, the first author here worked on a paper titled Gender Productivity and Prestige in Computer Science Faculty, and you can see their details here. They switched to working more on environmental topics, and they're most well known for their network papers. And here we have a co-author from the same paper, and their H index is slightly lower, and you can see their details as well. And here is the JSON for women in computing and diversity, equity, and inclusion. We also will go briefly over our CS rankings and Google Scholar code. So even though we were unable to get the Google Scholar pages for all of the authors that were listed in the CS rankings website, we still have a lot of the data that we have saved. So we'll go over that here too. So CS rankings gave us a list of authors, their universities, their personal sites, and their Google Scholar IDs if they had one. So using this, we created the list of Google Scholar pages, their URLs, and then we scraped it with our load professor site. So we would open this URL, and then we would save all of the HTML content of that file and download it here locally. So for example, this would be for a professor of computer science at a technical university in Munich. And then using this, downloaded HTML files. For some, we were unable to get the HTMLs because of Google Scholar being pretty strict with bots getting information from the site. We would just scrape some details, for example, the paper names or the abstract.